so I don't really have much to cover today. I've uh, realized that probably should have gone a little bit even lighter than I did today. I need to work on pulling the slack out before I pull, and this is going to be a lot more of a hamstring dominant movement than what we were doing in the last, we'll call it block, same thing. I have three. So what I wanted to talk about, but I didn't get to last video, was the squats. So I am doing sets of 2 right now, sets of 3, anything between there, just trying to figure out what works. And I took my stance out a good, probably almost 2 times what it was, and I was able to comfortably hit depth. And yes, it was a low bar squat, but that is generally how I squat. I'm generally a low bar squatter. That's how I feel the most comfortable, and that's how I'm the strongest. The only reason I've been squatting high bar is because I was struggling to hit depth in a low bar position because I was trying to take a high bar stance for some reason or other, and I'm just realizing it. I was realizing while watching these today that if I were to have positioned the bar a little bit farther back in my second set, my first set was okay. My second set, if I were to have positioned the bar a little bit further back, it would have been more feasible, or not feasible, it would have been easier for me to hit each and every rep the way I wanted to. Unfortunately, the second set, I was a lot more rounded than I should have been because I wasn't able to get as wedged into the bar because I was so far back. I was literally, you could see that it looked like I was trying to squat the bar, which led to a lot of flexion in the lumbar and thoracic spine. Next week, I'll be deadlifting in my house again, which should allow me to be a little bit more consistent with the spacing and everything because I'll mark my feet on the floor. I do like deadlifting at Zach's house as the plates are nice, but I couldn't even figure out what my normal grip was because he's got an Olympic bar, so the ring marks are a little bit different than where I would normally put my feet and my hands. When it comes to the first set, though, I felt really strong, except for the fact that I miscounted and I only got 14 reps. I was contemplating doing a third set, but I did drink 3 Monsters and didn't eat anything, so I was severely not malnourished. I just didn't eat enough, and I was actually feeling quite nauseous. And not only was I feeling nauseous, I felt like I was going to fall asleep or like pass out. I couldn't see a damn thing. Well, I could see, but it just wasn't very... Nothing was really good. But you can see my positioning's a little bit off. I'm bending over a little bit too much. I also had to brace really hard because I couldn't... I was struggling to stay braced, so I had to brace really hard off the beginning, and then the brace would slowly fade as I got to the top, because I feel like there's still, I guess it's considered systemic fatigue from my sets from last week, which I'm not surprised. I felt like I don't know if anybody's heard the term, but it's called like yolk fever. It's like you get a runny nose, you feel sick, sometimes you get headaches, you have a fever, my heart was not even beating too fast. I just felt sick. You feel a little bit nauseous. The next day you still feel a little bit sick. That's how I felt. It was an extreme fever. And I was fearing that maybe today I was going to get that same thing, but I think it may have just been the caffeine. So I think I might have just had a little bit too much to drink before exercising. Ooh, there I go, stumbling. Any further updates I will give you not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow when I have my next video up. I'll be bench pressing. I'll probably talk a little bit about the grip because I did decide to change the grip a little bit. Normally I put my hands in a diamond shape and then I slide to the grip, but because I'm doing close grip and I'm really trying to target my triceps, I will be doing almost the opposite and probably gripping with what is known as a suicide grip in order to allow my hands to allow my triceps to sink in to my lats and keep the most tightness and keep the most stress or tension on my triceps, which should allow them to grow. I'll also be pausing, so I'll be doing full lockout reps. You could see that if you go back and look at any of my reps in the second set, I was a little too far on my toes, so even with my glutes firing at max to try to lock out, it still wasn't enough for me to lock out in a strong, sturdy way.